Hi guys, JH6, welcome back to the channel. So if you've been hanging around here for a while, you probably know that I'm a Glock fan, and some of you guys call me fanboys and all that stuff. I'm all good, but anyways, I'm becoming a true fan of the M&Ps. I really like them. Now, I own the M&P 45, also own the M&P Shield, and you guys know that is an outstanding pistol for CCW. But I gotta tell you guys, hit the range, put about 100 rounds down range with the M&P 45, and it was just amazing. I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun. It was very accurate. I was truly surprised on the trigger, and we're going to talk about that. And it was just a fun gun to shoot. And I got to tell you guys, it's a 45, so for home defense and things like that, if you get hit with this, you probably won't make it. I mean, this is truly a crime stopper for the bad guys out there trying to break into your house and do bad things to your family. Definitely a very good choice. I really like it. Let's hit the table. Let's talk about it. So let's get started. Alright guys, so first of all, we're going to put the M&P 45 with the Glock 17, just so you guys have an idea. Not everybody knows how this pistol looks, and the Glock 17 essentially is a pretty popular gun. Now, first of all guys, here's a 45, here's a 9mm, so you guys know there's a pretty good difference between the rounds. Now, I'm not going to get into ballistics because, to tell you the truth, I'm not too smart when it comes to those things, but some of you guys have very good comments, so definitely put it down below. Alright guys, so here's the 45, here's the Glock 17, as I mentioned. As you guys can tell guys, it's about the same size. So it is a full side gun. So if you're very familiar with the Glock 17, I mean, you're looking about the same side with the M&P 45. Now, I'm not really sure on weight. I could tell you right now that the M&P 45 feels a lot heavier than the Glock 17. So again, it does feel a little bit heavy. Let's check it out, guys. This is how it looks in my hand. It's a big gun, no doubt. It's one of those full-size guns that you most likely won't be able to carry unless you're a true dedicated person to concealed carry. This is going to be extremely, well, not extremely, but this is going to be difficult to conceal, guys. I got to tell you that. If you open carry, this is definitely a great choice. I mean, I love to open carry an M&P 45. It's just cool. But again, guys, full-size gun. Wouldn't really recommend it for concealed carry unless you're one of those guys that truly enjoy guns like me. I will conceal carry this with no issues. But typically, this is not going to be your concealed carry choice. This is going to be more for home defense and maybe survival situations or something like that. But mainly in my case, it's just a home defense pistol. Alright guys, so let's take a look at this pistol. And I got to tell you guys, to me, this pistol is just beautiful. I really like it. I got to tell you, one of the things that you're going to find on the M&P 45 is that it has serrations in the front. Now, the other M&Ps, as far as I know, do not come with serrations on the front. So the fact that you have the serrations here, it just allows you to grab the slide very, very easy. You know, if you have your hands sweaty, if you have your hands bloody, if you have your hands whatever, you are going to have more serrations to grab your slide. Not only you could grab it from back here, but you could also grab it from the front as well. So I do like that a lot. Now, the serrations on the M&Ps is something that I'm a fan of. If you compare the serrations from the M&P to the serrations to the Glock, you guys see it kind of goes up and down, straight line. The serrations and the M&Ps are a little bit, kind of like a little bit different, if you could tell. You guys could see the picture. But it just feels really well. It grabs your fingers really, really nice. And they work pretty well. Now, I got to tell you guys, you could change the back strap. I had the median on. And to change it quickly, the only thing you got to do is take this piece out. Twist it, kind of push it out. Comes out. And from here, guys, the only thing you got to do is push this out. Now, I'm using the small one right now. I do have medium-sized hands, I guess so, in a way. But the medium, it kind of felt really, really big. So I'm using the small one. Works really well. Now, this tool right here could also be utilized to disassemble the gun. But to tell you the truth, guys, I never use this. So I wouldn't be even able to explain to you guys how to do that. I just pull the trigger every single time. Alright guys, so coming to the front of the pistol, you're going to have a rail, which in my opinion I think is critical for home defense. You have to have a light. Now there's a lot of argument here on the proper way to carry a light, and my point to this is that you have to be able to identify the threat before engaging that threat. So I think having a rail is very necessary for home defense and things like that. Again guys, carries 10+1, which is going to be a downfall. Now the Glock 21, which in intent will be kind of like competing with this pistol, carries 13+1. Now the Glock 21 is pretty much about the size of the Glock 17, but it carries 13+1. Now the fact that it carries 3 more rounds, I think it gives a huge advantage to the Glock 21. Now I think the way that M&P kind of came back from that is by creating this magazines. Now this is 14+1. So again, you're not going to carry this magazine as, you know, open carry or concealed carry. It's just impossible, guys. Look how it looks. I mean, it looks very silly and it just looks weird. But if you're using this gun as a combat gun, if you're using this gun as, you know, even home defense, having this is definitely not a bad idea. I mean, you could put this on top of your nightstand, just like that, let it sit there, and you have 13+1, and I know it looks funny, but, you know, who cares? Somebody's breaking into your house, you want to have as many rounds as you can. Now, again, if you have some type of combat, if you're using this for combat and you have some type of rig, you could have this magazines in your rig with no issues. But overall, this is just how the pistol looks. I think it looks really, really nice in my opinion. The magazine release worked pretty well. It's there. The magazine's release, very nice as well. Alright guys, so I gotta tell you, a lot of guys changed the trigger and they put a APS trigger on it, and it's supposed to make it better. Now, me personally, I have no experience with that, so I cannot speak about that. But what I would tell you is that I'm not going to change the trigger. I actually like it how it is. This is my home defense gun for now, so I don't want to be dealing with changing the trigger. I don't want to do things like that. If I find myself in a confrontation, I'm sure that's going to be used against me. But what I can tell you is that Dan from the Firearm channel, he actually told me that the trigger was very, very different when you actually put rounds downrange. And that is something that I found out. Even though it's horrible, I mean, it just feels really bad, guys. When you dry fire, it feels really, really bad. But when you actually put rounds downrange, it's totally okay. It totally works fine. I mean, I don't know how to explain it other than it sucks when you dry fire. But when you actually put rounds downrange, it works excellent. I had no issues with it, and I actually liked it a lot. So it was a pretty good shooter for sure. Alright guys, looking to the top of the slide, you have a round indicator. Some people use it, some people may not. I think it's nice having a round indicator. You could take a quick pick there and realize if you have a round or not. You know, the fact that you have serrations in the front, you could do a quick press check. I know that's one of those debatable issues here in the community, but I'm a fan of doing the quick press check to make sure you have a round in the chamber versus racking the entire slide, losing a round. Now you got to pick up the round. Now you got to put it back in the magazine. Just a quick press check. It does the deal. Again, round indicator. You have some nice sights. The sights are metal. This is a 3-point sight. And again, this is one of those sights that I enjoy a lot because this is what I utilize in the Marine Corps. So again, I'm very familiar with that. So I could quickly use the sights and shoot pretty well. Surprisingly, guys, it was pretty accurate. I thought I was going to have some issues because the guy who I got this pistol from, he actually modified his the front side post. I guess the dude had some issue with his eyes or whatever. So I thought I was going to have some issues with this. I was extremely accurate. The first 4 or 5 shots were on target and 7 yards worked pretty well. So again, guys, it was accurate enough for some type of combat survival situation. Again, I'm not a competition shooter, so I don't know anything about that. But for basic survival needs and self-defense, it is pretty well accurate for that. Alright guys, so one thing that I'm going to point out with the sights, because I talked about Glock 21 having 3 more rounds, is the fact that this sights are metal, like I said, and they are better. When it comes down to the Glocks, we all know this one has 9 sights, but we all know the Glock sights are typically really bad. So, you know, again, you're going to have a pistol that has 3 more rounds, but upon you buying that pistol, you're probably going to spend another $100, $150 trying to replace the sights on the Glock, because it just sucks. To me, an M&P 45 is just a complete package. I'm not going to change the trigger. I'm pretty happy with the trigger. The sights work pretty well. I mean, I could just buy this gun, don't have to modify it or do anything to it, put it on the 9 stand and be my home defense pistol, as long as I have good training and things like that. So when it comes down to modifying things, we all know that they could be used against us in some type of legal court or something like that. Alright guys, so let's put it apart very quick. Very easy to do. All you have to do is drag it back, you know, lock the slide to the rear, pull this lever down. Once it comes down, send it forward, and again, press the trigger or pull the trigger. The slide comes out, and that's about it. Let's take a quick look in the inside. Some of you guys know a lot about this, so just a quick look in the inside. I mean, 45, it's just an awesome gun, guys. Sprint and the barrel. Now I got the 4.5. You can tell I just cleaned this. I got the 4.5 barrel. I think they have multiple. I mean, M&Ps have so many different choices out there. You have the one with a safety. You have one with no safety. You even have one that I believe it comes with a laser. I think you have the 4-inch barrel. So there's so many different choices out there, guys, that is just ridiculous, the amount of choices that you're gonna find out there. Alright guys, so putting it back together, very simple. Put the barrel back in there, put the spring. I mean, extremely simple, very quick to do. Align the slide again. Rack it back, bring the lever down, and that's it. Quick function check. Rack it back, fire, rack it, make sure it resets. That's it, guys. Very simple. Like I said, very nice gun. Put 100 rounds through it. Worked really well. We will continue to do more updates as we continue to put more rounds through this pistol, guys. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I like it a lot. Like I said, it's my home defense pistol for now. And I mean, the ergos is just amazing. The way this pistol feels in your hands, I mean, there's no doubt that the M&Ps have. The ergos in the M&Ps are amazing. Alright guys, if you guys like videos like this, make sure you click like, subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and as always guys, God is in control.